Alrighty guys, let's take a look at in this video our KOSPI session that is in green. Now is it a good green? Well, let's take a look at all of that because SK Hynix is also shooting to the upside. That's a good sign, at least for now, and so is Samsung. And after that, we'll take a look at how Micron did for the day, how Sandisk did for the day, and many other chip stocks and memory stocks and semiconductors. All NVDA, AMD will take a look at in this video. As you are aware, I did a video in the morning. Don't get trapped in the bounces that we were seeing on Micron and Sandisk, right? And as you can see, those very bounces by the end of the day got sold off, right? But we'll talk about it when we get there. Let's first start off with KOSPI. Once I let you know, none of this is any financial advice, only for education purposes, just sharing my opinion. Please do your own thing. So KOSPI has a green bounce day today. It is holding still above that yellow zone of around $6,000 that I have been saying that it's a critical zone of importance where we may potentially see stabilization. All right. Let's get to the lower time frame, but I want to show you this dashboard over here. Let me actually increase its size. These are part of my tools, guys. My tools will help you to make trading decisions in real time. I have 4 tools if you are interested. I'm just gonna really quickly just to show you, like on KOSPI right now though, trend across many interval is still either just rebounding or is still bearish. Okay, so keep that in mind as we go through in this KOSPI price action. Okay, but it doesn't mean that things are bad because we do have a bounce, but just note that our trend is still either just rebounding or is still bearish across some intervals. Okay, so anyways, now if you need access to my tools, guys, you will find the details in the description of this video on how to get my tools. All right, so here now I have been telling you that we may potentially stabilize in this zone, but what will confirm this the bottom, right? What will confirm this the bottom? And that is, let's get to the hourly interval. That is as if we can break out above 7,050 area, right? This zone, and that then will mark this as a double bottom here. Now, so this is something I wanted to see. Now, this is right now, just note, this is not a confirmed double bottom right now. Okay, this has a potential of forming a double bottom, but we'll have to see that will only confirm as if we break out above 7,050. And that will then mark this as the near-term bottom at least. And that's pretty much where this, what we are seeing today is again part of a bounce only. Okay, it's just a little bit of a rebound, but it's at least good if you are a bull. And I have been telling you that we are getting close to a zone where we may start to see stabilization, but you still have to be patient. We haven't regained 7,050, so it can still just go up there and then eventually come down. It can still do all of that. Okay, so but it's at least for the day, it's green, it's holding, and it's going up. Let's take a look at SK Hynix now. Excuse me. SK Hynix is also showing us rebound potentially to the upside, right? Now let's get to the SK Hynix on the Korean market real-time data right away, and it's at 1,830,000, very at par pretty much where the price is, right up over here. And the point is that yes, it is bouncing, has a room for potential double bottom, but it's not a confirmed double bottom. Right now it's just a rebound for the day. It's just a bounce, so you still have to be careful. Okay, it's just a bounce. It hasn't even regained the previous day high yet, which is technically up here. Excuse me. Right, so it still has to go through quite a lot stabilization here, and then as if we start to close stronger around 2,040,000, then there is a room for it to eventually start a breakout to the upside. and then is only where things will start to turn around again on this thing. But so far it's just a bounce, but it's at least good, at least, well, while the market is still open right now. Okay, let's take a look at Samsung. Samsung is also bouncing. Now KOSPI and Samsung are the ones which are close to their stabilization zone, potential stabilization zone, I mean. SK Hynix is still quite far away, where I would consider it has a stabilization zone, this yellow zone down here. But anyways, we don't have to get all the way there if we don't have to. If we see a price action confirmation breakout already, we may not have to go all the way down there. Let's take a look at the Samsung real-time price action, 259,000. So which is pretty much a little bit higher than where it is right now. So it's already up here somewhere. So what does it mean, right? Let's get to the hourly interval. Now we are still in the decline, if you notice, right? We are still in the decline here, right? Nothing has really changed. However, if we can start to see a session close stronger above 267,500 dollars, this significant level, then it has a room to give you multi-day rebounds to the upside. Okay, then it has a room to do all of that. Right now, unfortunately, it hasn't even gained the high of yesterday. So technically, well, sorry, when I say yesterday, a day prior to that, I'm sorry, because the way they have their candles, yeah, this is the zone of the 2 days ago. So this is the technically, it is getting around that, but it doesn't matter. We have to see the significant level, that is 267,500. Only above that there will be some mark of the stabilization, and then potentially some couple of days, at least multi-day, some strength can build up on this thing. But for a, like, I would still say that even though they have a potential formation of a bottom here, not confirmed, it's not confirmed, just don't get me wrong, but as if it can break out above the zones, at least for a couple of days, it can start to give you some strength, and which eventually may turn overall bullish as well. But so far it's just a bounce even on Samsung. Okay, so coming at a stabilization zone. However, like KOSPI, just to reiterate, we haven't even regained that lower moving reference line, right? We are still below that. Okay, right over here, this reference line, right? So we are still declining, and that's where your confluences of the reference line and the level break for the turn around of the direction. Okay, all right guys, so that's your Korean market right now. Just a bounce for the day. Overall structure is still negative, but this is where, if it has to give us these confirmation of double bottom on KOSPI, which, as I said, we'll confirm that with the level breaks to the upside. All right, let's take a look at now how did our memory stocks on the US side closed and where they are in the overnight session. So as I already told you in the morning, don't get trapped in the bounces, because you may think, oh well, the bounces are coming, so oh, it's bullish now. No, right? That's the reason I did that video in the morning while the market was open, that for this very reason, because overall structure is negative, and you can see by the end of the day we still closed off down. Now what are we watching tomorrow though on these ones, Micron and all, right? Like you can see it's still rejecting that significant level here, right? So here's the thing, it is not going to be bullish tomorrow in the longevity. It can do a rebound, as if it can, if you see a strong close above 891 and 83 cents, if it can do that, it has a room to push 950 area, but nothing more than that right now. You cannot plan beyond that right now for the upside. Excuse me. If we lose $854, the significant level below right over here, if we lose it, get prepared. We may not go all the way down there, but my point is that we will then test this level below of 820. Okay, so right now overall direction is still bearish on Micron, and only if a rebound has to continue, that will be above 892 at this point, and that will be only for now 950, because it is above 950, that will have to get on Micron before this thing can start testing higher above levels, maybe highs again, tests or whatnot. Otherwise, no, it still has a room to cool off. Okay, so anyways, I am actually interested to see if it cool off, because I will be playing these meaningful bounces and I'll be telling my members about that. If you are interested, guys, you can join my members only videos and all that stuff. You will be then looking at my members only videos where I talk my trade plans, where the money is putting, what type of trades I'm taking, and also teaching you the price action and many stocks I talk about there with my members. I'm gonna get rid of that so we don't need that anymore. All right, so that's how Micron is looking like. Let's take a look at Sandisk. Sandisk is also pretty much still bearish, just a bounce little bit, which eventually just sold off, right? And so what are we watching for tomorrow? Well, still the same thing, that not much high in overnight session. You can't really rely much on the overnight session, guys. But the point is that overall structure is not bullish until we get above this $1,600, right? So that still remains the case. Until then, any bounces, these are just the bounces, guys, just a little bit of sideways action. Like even 15 is a strong, significant level resistance right now. So it is far away, very far away right now for giving us any sign of strength. Like if somehow tomorrow we close closer to 1600 like that, like up here, if we close up here, then things may start to look a little bit different. Then it would be like, okay, we have a potential of breaking out. But unless we are not even getting closer to 1600, Sandisk still remains to the downside right now. It is still in the negative structure. Okay. SK Hynix on the Nasdaq, poor thing continues to go down, and as I have said, we are taking this. We are taking the prior context on this from SK Hynix Korean market. Okay, so which still is in the decline. It is showing some sign of potential stabilization, but as I just told you, it's just a bounce. We don't have a confirmation of upside full on. Like it's just a, if it has to confirm the bottom, we have to see the levels break to the upside, as I mentioned earlier in this video when I was covering these stocks for you, right? All right, let's get to Seagate. Okay, so Seagate, what did it do? Exactly what I said, right? I said that yes, it can a little bit breach this zone above. However, we still have another level of resistance above, which is 840. So however, it did close strong. It did close strong. Now here's the point. If we lose 791, unfortunately this rebound that it has done for last 2 days will be over, and it's gonna get down, maybe test again 697. If it can break out above 840, $841 significant level, yes, then it has a room to continue to the upside. So it's closing strong in the rebound. Just like a week ago, we had Seagate close strong up here. Sandisk was also closing strong at its change of direction, but then they never fully confirmed, and thus overall structure took precedence and they came down. Same thing can happen here. We can continue to rebound, but unless we gain the overall direction, at least this is the beginning to start off with, you cannot really plan for it because your horizon right now doesn't open up for the upside. So it is a bounce today, which a little bit holding up there, but if we lose the level below, then it's gonna go down. Marvell, same thing, just a bounce, selling off. Let's take a look at NVDA. NVIDIA also, guys, the bounces are sold off today, right? And as you know, I don't have any position in NVIDIA anymore. And so that's the case. It's below 203, definitely not looking good. It's looking weak. We can take a look at the hourly interval as well. Yeah, like this thing is really not gonna, like, unless you see a close above, like not just getting above 204, 203, but closing above that as well. Unless that's not happening, you're not really gonna get any more upside on this thing right now. So AMD. So what did I tell you on AMD? Exactly what is happening. And what did I tell you? I told you this candle, when it formed, first of all, I told you 500 below, you should not be in the position. 500 below structure is broken, and yes, we got that bounce rebound candle, But I told you guys, yeah, it can breach $500, but we're gonna reject at 528 area. And we already did that in the pre-market today. Let's get to the 4 hours interval. You can see precisely we rejected at my zone that I gave you, right at my zone, right? And does that breach happen? Yes, I already told you it can happen, but I said that we will still remain negative until if you're not getting above 528, we'll still remain in the negative sentiment and bias is negative. And you can see we bounced, breached the zone of 500, but rejected at 528, 530, just as how I expected and I told you ahead of time. Now what? So let's get to the hourly interval. Now look, it also closed red, right? It also came down, gave up the gains for the reasons overall sentiment, not just sentiment, the price action is negative on AMD. Now very important. So the way it has closed on the bears side, bears transition side. Losing 500 tomorrow will start to create legs lower, and which will pretty much mark this rebound complete, and we are going down in the direction. The bulls can only hold as if you see a either breakout above 527, 528 or a close strong up here. Then only there is a chance that bulls can regain, but that will be above 530, 528, 527 zone on AMD. ARM also just bounced today and selling off. This can even bounce until 300 area. It will still remain in the negative structure. Broadcom also not doing much. It's just, and it's mostly gonna go sideways here, and that's why I'm not wanting to build a position again. But it is doing its choppiness. Okay, so that's that. We do have, well, TSM also, as you can see, bounce is already selling off. You can also look at my dashboard. Everything is still red. That is trend is bearish rebound or bearish rebound still across many intervals. Intel has its earnings Thursday, so we'll see what it does. Price action is not looking good. Price action, as you can see, this was the rejection zone, and it rejected right into that zone, and thus we still remains in the negative direction. Only above $100 is where upside can build. Below that or at that, we will still remain in the negative direction. Above that, yes, it can build some strength above 100, but first, whenever transition happens, guys, that is a rebound, and that will just, for horizon, will be just a day for now. Okay, you cannot go from full downtrend and in a day full uptrend. No, it doesn't happen like that. Okay, so all right, guys, well, that's all I had for you in this video. All right, if you found it helpful and valuable, please hit the like and subscribe, and with that, I'll see you in my next videos. Take care. Bye.